We're sluts.
Oh, right. Oh, wow.
They have this idea.
That we have like this fantasy world that's all around us, and people just come into our homes constantly.
All right. Well, you're listening to the Spicy Bananas podcast where nothing's off limits and everything's on the table. Or under. On. From bedroom bleepers to breakthrough orgasms. I like that. I know. We get curious, cheeky, and sometimes just a little bit holy. Yeah. Okay. Your turn. Okay. Today, we've got a couple who've turned open love into an art form and built a life full of intimacy, laughter, and unreasonable happiness. It's not your average marriage story, but we don't do average here anymore.
No, that's boring.
Anymore. No. Have you ever? No. No. Our guests today are Gregory and Kandace Lowan, married for over 40 years.
Wow.
Congrats, guys. Open for 25.
You're still out of jail.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've been open for over 25 years and still turning heads and hearts with your radical honesty, energetic intimacy, and commitment to joy. They're authors of lifestyle coaches and founders of something called the Church of Unreasonable Happiness.
I like
Loving that. Which honestly sounds like our kind of Sunday service. Get ready for the stories about swinging, threesomes, plant medicine, and how they turned non-monogamy into a spiritual practice with a whole lot of spice.
Wow.
Welcome, guys. Great to have you on now. Well, you're loud
too.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty.
Okay, so you've been married for 40 years, but open for 25. How did that first convo about non-monogamy actually go down?
Well, it's been 44 years, actually, of just last week. We've been married together for 48.
Wow.
The initial discussion was never had. It was just the hot tub and alcohol, it's the good starting point for almost everything.
That'll do it.
And I would say that a very large percentage of people that we've met through our years, it started in the hot tub.
It's a nice, easy place where you're already naked, everyone's comfortable.
You're loose, you're clean.
Yeah. Keep that one.
Yeah, clean.
Okay. Well, what surprised you the most about yourselves once you started exploring open love?
That I would be such a dom.
Oh, I love that.
A surprise. I'm not with Gregory. I'd love to be the submissive. But as soon as I was out there, it was like, I got to be on top. I got to be first. I got to come first. It's my way or no way.
You got to be in control.
Yeah. It was interesting. Yes. I wanted to be in control.
Yeah. But there's a reason for that. There was a historical reason for that with an assault that she had when she was in her mid-teens.
And of course, that didn't come out until we actually wrote the book.
Yeah.
The first book, which was Fucking Our Way to Enlightenment. And it was in that time I had this download. I went, oh my gosh, I've totally forgot about what happened to me when I was 16. And when I realized, because of having a boss, try and take me out. And of course, we're supposed to go for dinner. And next thing I know, he's not taking you for dinner. He's pulling over on the side of the road and he says, I want you to give me a blowjob. And it was one of those situations where, he put his hand on my head and he pushes my head down. And it was like, very traumatic, but it was one of those things that blocked out of my mind. And I guess all those years after, just playing, it was like, don't touch my hair. It was always about that. It wasn't so much don't touch my head. It was like,
but she always had really great hair.
Me too. Thank you.
And I never really liked giving blowjobs either. I did it, but I didn't love it. Now I love it. But it was one of those things because it was still, I guess, on the back of my mind, and I had never had dealt with it.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to do that when I wrote that in the book.
Yeah.
It brings out.
She was never a victim, so.
Brings out those triggers, doesn't it?
It does.
I can see why you're the dom. Yeah. You'd be bloody good at it too. Yeah. You started a church based on joy, sex, and connection. Wow. Who pitched that first idea and what were you on at the time?
We were on mushroom.
Who's one? You're on the shrooms.
and cannabis probably. There's a couple little things. There's a little correction in it because we actually have two sort of separate entities or two separate parts of what we do. We do many things, but we have the Church of Unreasonable Happiness, which we're founders and what we call caretakers because we don't want to have any sort of supreme being part of it or anything happening, and we're all equal because it's all within us, and so that's the church part of it. And then we have evolutionary sex, and evolutionary sex is the part that we've taken. We've wrote our first book, as kind of said, fucking our way to enlightenment, and that came about after an ayahuasca experience or a few ayahuasca experiences, but that's where that book sort of came out of, and had a tendency to get from lots of really crazy stories to really more of a deep spirituality, and a little bit too woo-woo is what we felt. So that was revealed after some more ayahuasca, and we came back and we rewrote that book. A lot of the stories are the same, but we rewrote that and turned into creating a happy ever after through non-monogamy. And
taking out the woo-woo stuff.
Putting up more into the relationship aspect of it, how we manage our relationship, how we communicate, what are some of the we hate rules, but what are some of the guidelines or some of the topics that we discuss in there. And then from that, and after COVID and a lot of practice with a third, we wrote another book called The Triangle of Trust, Secrets to Healthy Threesomes. It's just a book that takes you through. It's more of a mini book that takes you through, relationships, things to consider if you're, your spouse or your partner or somebody suggests it, or maybe it's just a fling that, a couple people in the back of the bar after whatever. But there's certain ways of approaching it to make it successful. We just did a workshop on it last week, and we probably had 50 people in there, and you ask the question, how many have had a threesome, and 90% of the audience puts their hands up. And so, how many of those were successful? And about 4 or 5 people put their hands up. Just, the fantasy is typically way better than the reality unless you prepare yourself for it. If you prepare yourself in, if there's an understanding, if the expectations are where they should be, it can be an amazing time. But if you put expectations too high, you lay it on the fantasy world, all you think about is the porn that you've been watching on TV, and this is the way that they do it, and this looks like so much fun, and it fits there, and no, it doesn't. It's not comfortable, and it's not connecting. It's not real. So, that brings up another topic, and just something that's a little bit dear to our heart because of our. I'm 66 and Kandace is 65.
I was going to ask. Wow.
So we have some experience at all. So we have some experience behind us. So we call it leveling up. We've done a few things in our lives. We thought we'd put a swear jar on our counter that said old on it. And every time that we'd refer to ourselves as being old, we had to put money into the swear jar. We never did, because we've taken it completely out of our discussion, out of our minds, out of anything. So now we say we're leveling up. So we've leveled up to 66 now, and
you're as old as the person you feel too. So
that's exactly it. And most of the friends we hang out with, they're way younger than us, 15, 20 years younger than us, and we like it that way.
And I enjoy feeling 50-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds.
50-year-olds.
I feel 30-year-old.
Well, that's also talking about porn. That's a big thing that people do try and make it realistic in the bedroom when they watch pornographic film. They've got no idea how some of these scenes are made and how long they take and how many cuts there are and what, shouldn't say, but what they're on.
So I think with our age, we're saying that we're the last generation, or one of the very last generations, to experience sex before porn. What everybody you look at now, they've been seeing porn since they were 10, 11, 12 years old, and they're getting this impression of this is what it is, and this is how it works. And, anal, roll over and jam it in. No, there's half an hour's worth of work ahead of you, dude. You've got to, and, but you don't know that, going in, because this is where your education's coming from. They're not going to teach it in schools. Parents are too embarrassed to talk to their children about it.
Yep.
So they're going to get their answers from, some producer out of LA that's got, a little video camera and that's what this is supposed to do, No, it's not. That's not the way it is. So, so we address that in the books as well, just for expectations. And
Yeah. Well, let's talk threesomes, logistics aside. What makes a group experience actually feel connected and not just chaotic?
sorry, you just glitched out on us there. I was hoping you weren't having either, but we just missed that question.
Let's talk threesomes. So logistics aside, what makes a group experience actually feel connected and not just chaotic?
Well, first, like you said, there is a connection first.
Communication.
The communication and just making sure that it's all going to be playful. There's nothing serious about it. And you want to make sure you got the consent before any plant medicine, before getting drunk or whatever it is. It's got to be done when you're straight.
So one of the things that we enjoy doing is when we're with a third or with another couple, so we like to sit down together and just to connect and say, okay, so what are your boundaries, fears, and desires for that night? Because we might have been with that couple the week before, and their boundaries, fears, and desires might be, their boundaries or things that they wish to do that night might be different than the last time. So you got to ask for consent. You got to know where it is. And
but we do get a lot of, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
And so then you kind of go, okay, well, how about we just go with the flow? And then if it doesn't feel right, just say it.
But please say no. And approach it slowly, and approach it with a sort of a, this is okay. And, and not just jump in and, just start finger banging away.
It's coming to the point where now this consent is getting a little bit out of control. I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's come to the point where, can I touch you on your shoulder? Oh, can I pull your ear? Oh, can I? Which gets ridiculous. Now you've lost the whole sense of the romantic, exciting fantasy side of it. So there is that limit where you kind of know when you ask them what their desire is or what their limitation is. If they just say, my butthole is off limits. Okay, great. That just means that
you relax into it. Then you can have your threesome, and you can not be having that back of your mind going, I hope she doesn't. No, don't worry about that. I hope she does.
You've got that sort of confirmation. It makes things run smoothly then. Jealousy, but with jealousy, does it still pop up over all the years, and how do you deal with it?
No.
And it's
because we use compersion.
Yeah.
You know what that is? Compersion. Compersion is the opposite of jealousy. So when I see Gregory with another woman and I'm like maybe sitting back and watching or whatever, it excites me because I know it's making him happy. So it excites him. It's exciting me at the same time because I'm going, oh my gosh, he's getting his desires. They're getting filled. This is fantastic. Because sometimes, you know why we've been married for 44 years? It's because we've been able to give each other 80% of what we need. But there's that last little 20% that you can only get from that other person. So whether it is the same sex, whether it is going in a different direction, or maybe it's just a brunette, who knows? Whatever it is, he can find something else in that percent to fill in his life so that you feel complete, that you feel like you're whole, you're not missing out. You kind of go, oh, well, I'm married now. I can't do that because she doesn't like it. Do you know what I mean? That's that last 20% that you can find somewhere else, which is, it's important.
And we also always try to connect it to, if I am with somebody else and Kandace is off to the side or vice versa, just a little glance, just a little, a little look over, just a little side eye,
A little tease.
It's just that all it takes just to feel part of that going on. And so the jealousy aspect of it, no, I think there's probably been more for me. Anyways, I can only speak for me. Envy sometimes,
Right.
Just kind of that's a difficult emotion to sort of deal with, but it's good to when I feel it and you kind of go, oh, so I wonder where that's coming from. And you press at that point. You go, I'm feeling like, or I'm feeling like this. So, it's typically because there's guys lined up the door for her. I have to have a telescope
down the street.
So
Well, what role did plant medicine play in expanding your relationship or your views on sex and spirituality?
That's a
big one. I think
Mm.
it all has to do with when it happened, which was during COVID. We had just gone to Costa Rica and came back in January of 2020. And then it was near after that, I think it was March or whatever, COVID hit, and weren't supposed to see anybody, and you're locked up in your home. And we had so many friends, especially single women, that came to us because they kind of they were in our bubble. They were in our bubble. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some of them, hadn't been vaccinated either, so it was hard for them to get out. They couldn't even go to restaurants. It was very difficult for them. And we went, sure, come on over.
Yeah.
And before that, what had happened is we started to, through our integration, and then that's one of the things. I don't know if how familiar you are with plant medicines, especially something like ayahuasca. And it's not just the night that you're taking it, but this lasts for weeks. It can go on and
7 weeks
and years. And honestly, there's things that were planted that are percolating, that are still there, that you're just not ready to understand yet. But all of a sudden you get this little graph and you go, oh, that's what that was about, and you pull that in. So we were granted the privilege of every morning we'd be just in bed, and you could just lay there for an hour and a half, every couple of days, or just circular breathing and doing things, whatever was coming up naturally for us, because we had
eye gazing, we were doing some light touch with each other, and we'd heard about all these techniques, that they were tantric techniques. And we thought, well, let's put it to practice and see where it goes, and see if we can build this energy from within.
So suddenly we discovered that we were able to have energetic orgasms. Like, we could go through full-on body rolls. We were like, it was just, it was amazing to feel that energy within our bodies. But that's all we had to do, was focus on that. We had no other interruptions. It was just us. And then as things opened up slightly, or we started having some friends over, we were able to experiment with that. We were able to try a few things. We were able to, sort of see where it went, and see the response that we were getting from,
and see if
our partners.
We could get our partners to do this as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was just because of our deep connection and our energy that we bring back and forth, and having that third person. So many times they said, I just love it when I can look up and see you guys just kissing on top of me, and I can just feel that connection and that energy flowing, and they loved it. They loved it.
Well, that's the thing with COVID, as bad as it was, what an arsehole of a thing it was, but the connections it brought to people being stuck at home, or even single people, obviously in the adult industry, toy stores, adult stores.
It was like Valentine's Day
Every day. And people actually got to learn about their bodies, and learn what they actually want and what was feeling good and comfortable. So there was a bit of a plus side to that horrible.
The couples especially, it was like, if they've been married for years or been with someone for years, it's as if they've reconnected in a way they've never connected before. It's like, oh, I do have a partner. I've forgotten so much about them. So it really did bring a lot of people together again.
Reignited or split, either way. But I think that reignition was worth it.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest?
That's what happened sexuality-wise. Sorry, that's what happened sexuality-wise, and then that blended over a lot more into more of the spirituality and our beliefs, and we were both brought up in very strict Christian homes. We met each other in Sunday school. We were 7 and 8. We had our first date at a church youth group, roller skating party, and so our backgrounds are very similar that way, coming through it. But then after some of the revelations that we had, and discussions and research, and self-awareness that we were going through that spring, we really developed a different sort of a viewpoint of life, and before and after, and that has now developed into our church, really, is what that has done. So it's
wow.
So it did change a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, that took place over a few years, and then we were in Costa Rica, or in Colombia, doing another ayahuasca in the jungle there for 5 days, or for 10 days. And it was really interesting with the medicine that time, because we both came back not feeling this change.
Big change.
The first time was like, what the fuck? Just where'd that come from? And the second time it was much more subtle, but we kind of, our analogy was we went from here to here that first time. The
right.
second we got up to here, so there wasn't that huge change of everything, that was ahead of us. And
Where are you going with this?
I don't know where was I going with
You're doing a spicy bananas moment.
This happens to me sometimes. I get on these really great tangents, and then the tangent runs out, and I go, okay, well,
That's called menopause.
Yeah.
Over this way.
try living with me.
It'll come back to you.
It'll come back. You just
finishing his sentences, but sometimes I kind of go, well, let's just start something new.
Just
yeah,
something new.
yeah. I'll
Wasn't that
go.
important, obviously.
Well, what's the weirdest or wildest misunderstanding people have about your lifestyle?
We're sluts.
Oh, right. Oh, wow.
They have this idea.
That we have like this fantasy world that's all around us, and people just come into our homes constantly. Yeah, they do, but not like
But
that.
not like that.
It's a Playboy mansion.
The other thing that we discovered was guilt by association.
Right.
And friends of ours, once we wrote the book and once we came out, it was interesting how they would distance themselves.
When we say come out, we say come out to the family.
Come out to the family.
Because our work friends all knew, and our close friends knew as well. But
I'm probably worried that you're going to jump their bones.
Not family.
Sometimes they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sometimes
they're going to.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, cool. They're going to do that.
Yeah.
Watch that Hulk I just stayed on.
But yeah, we had a few people pull away when we decided that we said we were going to tell our kids, our boys, that and they're already in their late 20s, and we're finally going to tell them because we're writing this and we're going, oh my God, it's going to be
back of our
pictures on the back, and we're going to be publishing this in a month. We better at least tell them.
Yeah.
Whoa. Dad.
They did what?
So of course, so kids, you want to just come over for dinner? We have something to tell you. Well, of course, that was the weirdest thing I should have said. That's because they were thinking, oh my God, they're going to get a divorce, or they're selling the house. Something extreme.
Yeah.
So of course, when we tell them, which I said, oh, your father has something to tell you.
Touche.
I was the Madonna.
Oh,
right?
and by the way,
I want that to change.
How did that go?
How'd it go, Dad?
Yeah.
the reception was remarkable, actually. We had hoped that our kids were here with both of their significant others, and it was our youngest son with his husband actually was here, and our oldest son, but his wife was his fiance at the time was out of town. So I wanted to sort of break it to the whole family all at the same time. It was a nothing burger. It was like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
And we said, please don't read the book.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys reading the book. That's really too much. And of course, our son-in-law goes, well, I'm going to read it.
and he did. And you know what? The communication that we have with our kids now it's remarkable. And it's so open and truthful. Because for us, we're living our true lives. And that's the biggest thing for us is we're living true to who we are. We're not putting on any
good on you guys.
This is who we are. And if you like us, you like us. If you don't, well, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've raised amazing children too, to be understanding and just go,
they're so great. Yeah, no, we've got some fantastic kids.
Yeah. Good on you guys. Well, you call it sacred sexuality. What does that actually feel like in real life?
Connection,
Mm-hmm.
intimate connection, deep connection, reverence with ourselves, with understanding who we are and what pleasures that we seek. It's honoring it. That kind of really sums it up. It's just a deep connection is what you end up having, and I think the spiritual aspect of it, just again,
there's no judgment.
Yeah,
and everyone is different.
Yeah.
And some people want it a certain way. Other people don't want it at all. There's some that, are open. You get all kinds, and understanding that You know, when you're going to have let's say a third come over, it's like, okay, I'm going to get all my toys ready and get all these outfits ready. And I'm going to do this. And then, you know, when they arrive and they kind of go, I just want this to be a cuddle night. And then some people would just be all pouty. Well, you know, what do you mean this is going to be a cuddle night? I expected that. It's not like that. It's respecting that person and just going with the flow.
Yeah.
And well, we don't plan it. People kind of go, well, what are we going to do that night? I go, I don't know. Let's just go with the flow.
Yeah.
So
It's the best way to do it, isn't it? Because it then flows naturally. Get out the anal beads, Kel.
So they're coming in especially as a third, you know, if they don't have anyone to talk to, if they don't have anyone to cuddle and just to be close, that's all they need. At least that night, you know, maybe they had a rough weekend at work or whatever it was, you know, and we're there for them.
Yeah.
Added counselor.
It's a good
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And you're on the same level anyway.
Mm.
All right. So most enlightening thing you've done while under plant medicine.
Oh, how about been on an alien ship? How's that? I was on a praying mantis ship.
I'm a designer by trade, and I had designed this. To me, was this amazing glass tower that was like a cathedral. It was that sort of, you know, something romantic like that. And I married myself, and that was a big changer for me. That was a really big changer for me. Just understanding who I was, accepting myself, and this is what I am, and wanting to tell the world. And at the time, actually, when I came out of the medicine, and we were there with another girlfriend, and I was just elated, and I just said, you know, I just got to tell the world, I got to, you know, this is who I am. This is who I am, and immediately got shut down, which I'm glad I did, you know, by both of them. You can't do that. You can't do that, you know,
because it affects all of us.
It would affect them so much, and I had to understand that part of it. So there was no animosity. I was able to then take that energy and understand it and work with it and develop myself even more.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that's one of the big ones.
And then it was just 2 years later that we decided to write the book and then tell our kids. And
right.
And then, you know, flying around with my spirit guides, you know, with, you know, looking at my libraries and understanding that the wisdom is all there, and I don't have to search for it. It's just there. When I need it, it will come. So, and it does randomly, just wisdom comes out. What other things? Your surgeries? You had a couple surgeries?
Yeah.
That are still lasting, that are still long lasting.
Chiropractic healed my back.
Yeah. Right. Wow.
Well, fingers going inside of you.
Yeah.
Sexiest realization you've had while high?
While high?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Conversations while high. I don't know. We have a lot of conversations when we're high.
Yeah, a lot of conversations when we're high.
And the crazy ones.
You know, it's legal here in Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah, we're moving there.
Yeah. So, of course, we grow our own plants, and it's blessed every day by him. And now we realize that we can add mugwort to it because it grows wild in our forest. And so we're mixing.
We're coming on the next flight.
Yeah, we're packing our bags. The bags are just there.
They're there. We're coming.
And because mugwort is also a third eye opener.
Yeah.
So
helps with visions, helps with
lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
So
I
think the most exciting. Oh, okay. Well, we can talk about this. We can talk about anything, right?
Oh, you can say,
you guys.
I don't know what's exciting. There's like, it could be a number of things.
Well, we're talking about, you know, I'm sitting on top of Gregory's face, and
for sure. Aliens.
And he opened up his eyes and he went, I bet you'd love it if I was an alien right now. Yeah. So, of course, later that morning, I had to go downstairs onto the computer, order a couple alien masks from Amazon to get there the next day.
Gotcha.
You know, there's alien dongs, like they're called creature cocks.
Oh, nice.
They are huge sellers over here. There's one that actually inserts eggs into the anal
Oh.
passage. Vaginal.
Vaginal.
Definitely not
Not
anal.
anal.
But yeah, it sort of
Yeah,
lays
just need a
eggs
string on
inside you. Yeah.
Testicles. There's all different creature cocks.
Yeah. You'll
Love
have to,
that.
They're huge
you'll
sellers.
have to check it out.
It was funny. A couple days later, Candace had left it on my nightstand. And I saw it there and I just let it sit there for a day. And the next morning I got up and I put it into my house coat pocket. And I typically, I'm up a lot earlier than Candace is. But I'll always go back to bed and, at 8:30, I'll just climb back into bed with her and we stay there for our half hour, 45 minutes. And, but this time I came in with my house coat on, but I had a full alien mask on and I came in and probed her. It was it was amazing. And then there was a reciprocal when Candace put it on. And it's really interesting because we've never been into role playing. Like that's never been part of our play style. And but man, did she get into it. It was really interesting.
Man, can she probe?
Persona changes.
The persona changed. No, didn't talk, just kind of looked at you. And it's like, oh, it's kind of hot. It's like riding me.
Of course, we've tried this on our thirds as well to see what kind of reaction they'd get. Oh my gosh.
Really?
The laughter.
The laughter. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So, what part of your sex life would shock your younger selves the most?
All of it.
I was going to say, it'd have to be.
Yeah.
Just basically anything from Sunday to Monday to Sunday.
Mondays. But that's a good
Yeah,
shock, though.
I think because of our upbringing. Yeah, I mean that just wasn't in the cards. Although when we were in our 20s and together, people would accuse us of being swingers or doing this or doing that because I think just the way that even back then how we responded to each other and supported each other, and there wasn't like the job thing, and we've always been artists, and that's been always our excuse that we can do things that aren't
the norm
necessarily, or address life, or just
and of course we're both in the arts, but also we worked in the film industry as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they were okay with it. In fact, they hired me on purpose because they knew that I would be a lot more open and be able to handle a lot of the male clientele.
Yeah.
That was during the 90s, and harass was 2 words back then. Right?
Harass, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they would say, oh, well, let's give this job to Candace because she's going to be able to handle, these actors. And it's true, because it makes a difference when they know that you are just open and you're not getting all prudish, when an actor decides he wants to whip out his dick.
No.
He wants to debate in front of you while you're trying to do his hair.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A lot of craziness. You get a lot of craziness.
Yeah. That's it. You're more open to it.
Mm.
That's,
So what's the most fun you've ever had at a lifestyle party? Probably too many.
Yeah. I would say, that Vegas one, don't you think? Vegas, yes. It was a double ender.
Yeah, it was called the Canadian Double Ender. And it was on 2 opposing penthouse suites at one of the hotels down there.
Mm-hmm.
And the one penthouse was very low chill, low lighting, kind of sensual vibe. And the other end was much more upbeat with kiddie pools filled with oil and, just lots of going on. And there's about 80 or 90 people having this orgy around this entire room. Like it was all over the place. I mean, that was fun. And just sort of walking in and seeing a super hot couple there and just.
We called Barbie and Ken.
We called them Barbie and Ken, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I approached Ken and said, have you ever had a blowjob with an Altoid? And he went, a what? And I said, I'm going to suck on an Altoid and then I'm going to give you a blowjob. And he went, yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, no, then I was navigating all these rooms to try to find even some floor space to sit on.
And of course, the bathroom. So first we tried it in the shower, but then after a while, the windows and the flooring and stuff, it was uncomfortable. So then I said, well, how about if we go on top of the toilet? Because this was actually that's all that was left in this whole space. And I went, so it was quite something. And I said, can you make me squirt? And he goes, yeah. So I stood on top of the toilet seat. He fingered me. And while he was doing that, there was a young girl that said, oh my God, can I put my head underneath you and catch it all?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? There's this toilet, there's her head, and I'm hovering over top, and this guy is working me. It was,
He
quite
nailed it.
unique.
Yeah. Las Vegas.
Yeah. What's
Las Vegas.
happens in
Yeah, but
Vegas
you know
stays in
what?
Vegas.
What Vegas is, it's actually a very prudish town. It's actually quite amazing.
Is it?
So,
Yeah.
Right.
well, for
Love
us,
to go over there and change that a little.
for us,
What's your advice for couples who feel the spark's fading but don't know where to start?
talk, communicate,
Yeah.
share, express who they are, and how they feel.
You know
Not
what?
you make me feel like this, or I wish you did
Mm.
this. Like, this is what I'm feeling like right now. This is how I think our relationship is going, or this is what's happening to me at work, or this is what's happening with whatever. But it's just opening up and sharing
And
before.
also asking, what is your fantasy?
Yeah.
And it's okay if it's not with me. The whole idea, it's a fantasy. What is it? And that's another way of really opening up the door and getting people just to be a little bit more open and honest. And you can either giggle about it, or they said,
Yeah,
well,
but
that's
there
not going
has
to
to
happen.
be-
But at least you're letting it out.
There just has to be the
Yeah.
trust. There has to be the trust,
Yeah.
the openness, and the honesty
Yeah.
that your partner isn't going to ridicule or run away because I really have always wanted to suck a cock, and would that be okay? And if I can do it, sure, go ahead and do it, and assist if she wants to. But to say, oh, that's gonna completely nullify any thing that I might want to try to be me, who I am. So now I have to suppress something about my sexuality, or she has to suppress something about her sexuality. And then you're going to look for that, maybe if you're in an open relationship, maybe that 20% person will fulfill that need for you. And then the other, your spouse doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff, because that's being looked after.
And understanding that your spouse is your beloved and
Yeah.
always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
That's
the
why you're
first
with
and
them to start.
foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other ones are just fun, and they're extras that come and go. And that's the understanding too, that when you decide that you want a third or you want a couple to come in, that conversation is by text and everybody's on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ends up being just me with that guy, right? And then it becomes like, well, what happened to Gregory?
That connection.
Where's that connection?
It's missing.
Well,
Yeah.
Gregory,
But
Candace gave us her Vegas experience in the room on the toilet. Did you have any exciting experience there too? We need to hear your side too.
I was I was kidnapped
Right.
once. And
Vegas.
and the person showed up at our front door, and I saw her. I knew who she was. She came in, and as she walked in the door, because I was instructed earlier in the day, I was instructed to be home at noon.
Mhm.
So I'm being a good boy. So I'm at home at noon. So our friend showed up. She walks into the house for a moment and blindfolds me and leads me out of my house. And didn't know if there was anybody else in the car with her. I didn't know where we were going, but I was walked out and I was sat in our car. We drove around for quite a while, and we were on gravel roads. We were going over speed bumps. We were sitting at intersections. Meanwhile, I've got this hood over my head the whole time, so I can't see. And I'm sure people were looking,
Yeah.
what the hell's going? I know we drove through a mall one time, through a parking lot. So,
Yeah.
and
But
eventually,
it's such a sport. Like he says, no, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I don't need to peek.
Yeah.
So eventually we pulled in, and then I felt the car stop, and I was told to sit there and not move, which I did, and I behaved. I didn't know if somebody was sitting in the back seat. I didn't know if somebody was outside watching me. So there's a little bit of that, and also I didn't want to ruin the surprise for myself. So I sat there. A few moments later, door opens up. I get led into the house. Walk up some stairs, go through the door. Don't know, have a clue where I am. Not a clue. Walked in. She spun me around so that we were facing each other, and told me to disrobe. So I took all my clothes off. So I was standing there naked, blindfolded. Someplace I have no clue where I am.
Yeah.
And she backed me up a little bit, and I immediately felt like a massage table on my ass. And I knew that this friend of ours that picked me up, I knew that she had just bought a massage table recently, and it was my birthday. So I figured that the nice birthday gift that I'm going to get from her is I'm going to get this massage.
Yeah.
Which went fantastic. And that's what it started out as. So she started to massage me. And as I'm laying there, all of a sudden I started to hear this of high-heeled shoes walking across the room someplace. And then I heard another set. And then I heard another set. And then I had to.
Happy birthday.
So I had, yeah, so that was a good one. And the other one was
And
like
I wasn't there.
And
I
oh, yeah.
Oh, you weren't.
No.
But they kept texting me and sending me pictures, and
Right.
exciting for me.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
That they were doing this.
Yeah.
And eventually at the end, they pulled in, and I, to reveal, the girls that were all there, which was fantastic. And my other one was, again, it was not a kidnapping, but it was a couple that we just met. And I was in the back of their motorhome. We ended up back at their place, and I went to the back of the motorhome with her, and
She blindfolded.
she blindfolded me. No, she blindfolded me and tied me up. So I'm naked, tied up, and blindfolded in the back of an RV, and then for the next
and high,
really, really high.
The necessity.
And she starts fumbling with this stuff, and I don't know what she was doing, but she was getting prepared for something, and I was just laying there like, okay, you're mind racing, really hot.
Yeah.
I'm in a stranger's RV, tied up with my, blindfolded, and all of a sudden she started to electrostimulate me.
Oh,
She
right.
had
Wow.
Yep.
fingers,
Yes.
and so she did me, and then I've been doing energetic orgasms for 20 years. I had 13 of them that night.
Wow.
It was just incredible, the rolling that I was going through, because it lasted for about an hour and a half. And
Wow.
I eventually had to tap out. I was like, I'm done. Your turn.
Yeah.
I can't feel my body anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was an experience. Not a lot of people have had it. It was fun.
Wow.
It's amazing what our bodies are capable of.
Well, that's it. Not many realize, do
No.
they? Like,
No, and it's something we try to educate our customers on. It's like it's not just sex, guys. It's not just having an orgasm.
it's experience.
Yeah, it's just so much that you
Connection.
can explore with your own body on your own,
Mm.
and then with someone as well. So very true.
Mm.
So if someone's curious about E&M, what's one combo they must have before opening up?
they're new to it and they want to experience it.
Experience it.
Okay.
Meaning it's never been put on the cards before.
You know what?
So like it's this coming.
Just pick up our book.
Yeah, just buy the book.
Yeah.
Good one.
I mean, sometimes it's
That's it.
easiest to drop hints.
Yeah.
Aliens on it?
No.
No.
Oh, it was just a quick glimpse there.
That's really cool.
And then this is the other one,
They're really cool.
Wow.
and this is the first one.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are they your legs?
Oh,
No.
girlfriend in Mexico. At another takeover party where they take over a whole hotel.
Yeah. Wow. We are moving over there.
No wonder you got so many books.
A lot of stories.
We got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot.
Well, what does unreasonable happiness really mean to you now?
Unreasonable happiness means being happy even in a situation that it's not reasonable that you should be happy.
Mhm.
It's choosing the path that's going to give you the most joy, or the most happiness, even if those two choices or three choices are really, really shitty choices. One of them is better than the other. And if you start to go that way and you make those choices every day, all day, eventually you just find yourself happier, because that's what you're constantly searching for. And we live, as Candace has mentioned a couple times, just really in a flow state. We just kind of live in the present and where
And following your excitement.
And follow our excitement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just whatever excites you. Even
passions.
if you don't think it excites you, just do it with excitement,
Yeah.
which makes you happier. So for instance, when you're brushing your teeth, you'll just making yourself happy, kind of going, I'm taking care of my body. I'm taking care of this temple, which is my church of unreasonable happiness and for a long, healthy life. So that makes me happy, or you're pulling on your socks. Well, you try and make that happy too.
Yeah.
Ooh la la when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing about as we age, it's harder to get up sometimes.
Yeah.
And
In all ways, right?
we have such a tendency to go.
Yeah.
And so a year ago,
Sound very
Yeah.
positive.
So a year ago, I said, well, why not say something happy, like or something? But I found that difficult. And we were recently as part of another workshop, and she described something as ooh la la, and we both kind of looked at each other and went,
Kind of like that.
so now we get up and it's tough to go ooh la la, and you can still get up, you can still express something, but you're happier. You're not.
Makes you chuckle. I think that's the biggest thing. If you can
Yeah.
make a laugh out of
Yeah.
everything that you do, that in turn will make you happy.
You don't throw
Yeah.
a negative in, because as soon as you go, ugh, that's a downer. That's Debbie
It
Downer.
is.
Yeah.
It
You know,
actually is.
oh.
La.
But having some, you go, oh, la, like,
Yeah.
it
That's
approach
classic.
to life.
I love it. Oh, what other things can we think of? There's so many,
Yeah,
really.
there is a lot.
So getting back to the church a little bit, I think a while ago we started talking about, where it came from, or how it was established.
Mhm.
And there was another couple, and we were in what we call our Zen den. So we have two places in our house that are kind of, our communication pits, or our connection pits, other than the bedroom. And one is our hot tub, which we still go into like regularly
It's our
every
cauldron
day.
of consciousness.
A cauldron of consciousness.
Yeah.
And it's just a bong hit away from a good idea, and you just sit in there. And then we also have what we call our Zen den. And our Zen den is a room in our house that we converted to be kind of a meditation room,
Playroom.
Yeah.
qigong, a plant journey room. It's just really has that atmosphere and that energy in it.
Me
That's how
too.
it's
It's
all decorated.
covered with tapestries.
The whole thing.
The whole ceiling is covered with beautiful blue fabrics.
Yeah, it's an intimate. Sure. Anyways, so we were sitting there one night, and we were having, just having a wonderful time with our friends, and eventually he just kind of sat up, and I don't know what the conversation was, but he says, "This is like the Church of Unreasonable Happiness." And
And
so
we
I went.
oh my God, we need to make that into a .com.
So I literally
Yeah.
signed the logo. I designed the logo, registered the .com, and I created the website. All kind of within
Because
days.
of our dear friend Sachin Raja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
about that. And what it is so we're trying to spread the word about it, because it's not it's not a church with an address. If you Google our house, that's what comes up. Which is funny. We believe that God is within, and this is our temple. So if we respect ourselves as that church, as that temple, as that divine is within us, everybody's individual. My approach to it is different than Candace's approach to it. Your approach is going to be different, because you have your reality. You've got your upbringing, and whatever sort of guided you to where you are. That's what's making up your idea of God or religion. That's why a lot of people are going towards organized religion, because they don't have to make those decisions. They're just told, oh, this is what I need to do. Okay, I'm going to do that. I need to put my $30 a month into the tray, and then I'm going to be fine. Yeah, we don't have tithes. We don't have any of those things. There's no dogma. You really have to kind of go through the site and look at it. And it's just loving ourselves and understanding and being true to ourselves, and who really, we really are, and respecting ourselves.
And respecting others then.
And respecting others.
And if they
exactly.
don't believe in the same things that you do, that's okay.
That's okay.
Because it's their, not your path.
Yeah.
And who are we to judge? We can't judge.
Yeah. So we're not going to stand on a box and preach and say, you need to do this and you need to do this. And go, No, I write blogs in there all the time. And what I try to do is I try to stay very, very neutral because people need to make up that decision on their own. I don't want to feel like I'm telling somebody how to do something. These are some options. These are some ways of approaching things. And if they work, that's great.
It's a bonus. Yeah.
If they work. And so that's, it's kind of what we're doing with it right now.
So have you got your books in front of you now?
Yes.
If you just want to let our followers know what books they are and where they can purchase them from.
Yeah, probably the easiest way is just to go to our website, which is evolutionarysex.org for orgasm.
Lovely.
So evolutionary sex, all one word, .org. And that's the easiest way. They're on Amazon is where they are.
Yep.
But because of subject matter, because of a few things, it's very hard, and it's very hard to promote them because they really kind of block a lot of that stuff. But if you go to our site, just click it, it takes you to the site immediately and you can buy them there. We have them on audio as well. They're
Okay.
Wonderful.
the last two of them are on audio.
Yep.
And so one of them is all about E&M and the other is about the triangle of trust, 3 ways. And
it's been so interesting talking to you guys. Look, a massive thank you to you, Gregory and Kandace, for showing us how sexy, soulful, and sometimes hilariously messy long-term love can be. Exciting, though.
Yes, it can be.
I love the energy.
So if swinging and sacred are in the same sentence, we're here for it. So go grab their book, check out their church, and give your relationship permission to evolve. Thank you again, Kandace and Gregory. It's been lovely.
Yes, thank you.
Having you on our podcast because this is what we're about. We're about spice and we're about the breaking the taboo. So you've certainly brought that to the tables today.
You have.
Or the bedroom or the hot tub.
The toilet. Alien mask. There's a lot. Thank you so much to both of you. Definitely get onto their books. If you liked listening to it, read it.
Yes.
thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, one, you two.
Booteg 1, booteg 2. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.